Hey, it's early, we're getting out of here. As you guys know, we don't have a shop here, just a little garage. So we're gonna get out of here. We won't be in a Big Hammer garage, but we will be in a Fab Rat shop. So you might know this guy here. We're gonna go do some work on Paul's 55, some wiring and some stuff there. We'll take you along, hour and a half drive, let's go. All right, we told you we'd show you what we've been working on. This is what we've been working on. 1955 Chevy. You may or may not recognize this car, but this motor is not your normal LS Chevy motor. This is an LT out of a newer Camaro. Not only does it have the motor in it, it has the 6-speed in it as well. So we've been working on getting a Holley engine control harness as well as the computers in it. This car does have a vintage air, and the vintage air takes up a ton of room underneath the dash. So where we thought we were going to be able to mount things under the seat, you can see where I put some nut certs in down here and got everything done. We came up short on cable. Now we're working on getting that computer mounted up inside of the dash. We've got some fancy things we're gonna try to do. We'll see whether we can get there from here or not. But we have distribution blocks for clean power in here. Holley really likes to have clean power. So we're gonna get that in. We're gonna get the harness button back and through the firewall and see if we can't get some computers mounted today. We'll show you as we go. Let's show you this battery mount in the trunk of this car. That's the name brand. It was supplied to us by Paul for the build, but solid mounted down to the trunk, through bolted all the way through the body. And our battery cables run down through the floor. We're all grommeted. This is going to get a stock spare tire back in the trunk hole. So when you open it up, the trunk will be all finished out. Spare tire will be in here. This will be completely out of the way. Won't interfere with any of that. Those wires then run down, follow the frame all the way to the front of the car. We'll show you in just a minute. We'll pick the car up on the left, show you the way we ran them down, cable clamped them to the side. Really clean application, up out of the way, never get hit by anything. We even went so far as to make sure that when Paul blows the tire off of this doing a nasty burnout, that the cables are protected and up out of the way. All right, we told you we'd show you the underside of this car. Not my handiwork, but man, this thing's nice. We did run battery cable. Remember we showed you the battery cable coming in from the top of the car. We come out right on top of the frame rail, so it's completely protected there from anything blowing back from the tire. We cross over on the inside of the frame rail, keep us up away from the coilover, over the top of the bracket here to the outside of the frame, down the outside of the frame, tucked all up through the inner fender, so there's no exposure anywhere. Now, wiring. Holley harness is great. However, if you're ever working on this 6.2, there is a sensor. The crank trigger or the crank sensor is behind the starter. So when you start looking for it and you can't find it, there it is. The other thing is the fuel pressure sensor is on the back of the fuel rail. You have to take the entire plenum off to get into it. It's O-rings, it's not a big deal, but it does have to come completely off. So we got everything all plugged in, thought we were doing great, everything was good, we were moving on to the next step, and I went, I can't find this plug. Sure enough, it was behind the manifold. We had to take it off. So we're taking a piece of sheet metal and we've bent this crazy contraption. And the thought is that we're going to be able to screw it down to the hinge screws on here and get this holly to mount up on top of it, so that whenever you open that glove box, the holly's just sitting right there, and then inside we should have enough room for the coil or for the injector driver. Because of the motor configuration, it takes a special driver just for the injection system. Super complex, but Holly got it figured out. We should be good to go. All right, so we told you that we're gonna get this thing put into the glove box, but you know us, if it wasn't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all. We got everything mounted, and that corner right there bumped into the computer. So we're slotting the holes. See what we got going here. We're gonna re-drill these over about 1/4 of an inch. And then we'll just take die grinder and slide those out a little bit, so that when we bolt in to our glove box, we're moved over that way just enough to get us through that pivot so that the door will close. We're thinking it'll work. We think it'll give us enough room to just move over. We've got our fingers crossed and our toes crossed and our eyes crossed, but we'll see. We'll let you know here in a second.
3 hours later.
All right, let's show you what we got going on here. I think we're winning. Think. This thing fought us for a bit, but I think we're all right now. All right, so when that's in, it's about like yay. We just do clear, and that's what it'll be. I thought we were losing on the latch, but I don't know if you guys can see the stop for the door hits the vintage air. So we're gonna have to get that modified. I think it's just like 1/4 of an inch that needs to come off of the end of it. Should be easy to trim, but we'll get that done, get this in, and we are off to the races. Exciting. Something finally went right today. All right, we're gonna do one more test fit, and then we're gonna trim the end of this thing, and we will be good to go. We have won this battle. Closes up nice and neat. Our gaps are pretty close. We need to move to the passenger side just a little bit. Our latch is fighting us a bit. This latch is bent just a bit. So you'll push the latch, open it up, and the Terminator X will be right there for you to look at the status lights. Now we just got to find a spot to get the driver for the injector. It's a little bit more involved because we don't have a home for it. Just we're running out of real estate. Classic cars, new stuff. It's the way it works. Let me show you what I'm thinking. If it works out, it's gonna be cool. Okay, so this is the other controller. Also has LEDs on the front of it that have to be able to be viewed. We're good on that one. Glove box open, it is freaking awesome. But what I'm thinking is originally this has a speaker that's inside of it. And this is getting a little more of a modern stereo system. So this area isn't needed anymore, it's not used. However, the trim piece, which we have, is perforated. You can see through it. So I'm thinking if I can mount this guy right in here, like yay, it'll clear the windshield wiper motor, which is up in there. And you should still be able to see the LEDs through it. I'm gonna grab the grill and just set it in there and see real quick. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be equally as cool, because if that's the case, when you look in here, you'll basically see a bone stock 55 Chevrolet interior, and you won't see anything different. Well, bone stock, I think it's getting some really cool interior, but you'll have to watch for that later. And let's see if this will work. That should work freaking awesome. Awesome, awesome. I can see, it's hard to see, but right there you guys go, you can see the blink. Off to design them out. Be back with you in a bit. You guys missed me burning my finger, hopping around like a wild man. Should probably wear gloves. So here's what we got going. We're gonna build a base, then we'll notch the edge of this guy and twist that to match the angle of that V in the dash. This should be plenty strong so that we don't get a bunch of flex in there, and then we can mount our controller right to this, and that should sit perfect right in the inside of that speaker grill, and we should be able to see the LED lights perfect and still plug everything in from the back without a bunch of problems. We'll find out in a second though. All right, so let's show you what we ended up getting done. That controller is mounted in the speaker location. She'll be a little bit of a booger, gonna get the plug-ins in it, but she is what she is. Real estate's a prime commodity in this thing. These will have to be trimmed just barely so that that grill plate will go in, but it will go in. Everything will be good and happy. Fast cars are fun. Let us know in the comments below. Do you want to see more fast car stuff? We like fast cars. We'll do our best to get some more content for you on fast cars. Off-roading's great, crawling's fun. Fast cars might be a thing. So wiring's getting close with this car. We have throttle pedal to put in, pedal by wire. The car harness to attach back to the new electrical that we installed, but it is getting close. We also have these guys to wire in. Those guys are electric header cutouts. So that'll take us, or take this car from running through a muffler to wide open header to the outside. Also pointed out for a smoke dispersion for cool burnouts. We probably will see this car do a burnout as soon as we get it running. So hopefully we can show you that. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.